Hey, hello.
Hi everyone, how are you?
I'm good. I'm going to put you at the top of the stage. I'm so, hello, welcome back. We are so excited for our session 5, and Hadir, I'm so happy to have you here because I've had amazing mods and collaborators who were with me until about session 3, and then I think they were well past their bedtime, and so they yielded the stage to me, and then I was on my own with our fabulous audience. We always love our audience, and just excited to have you here. So thank you for joining us today. And I know you're going to have a lot to add. So let me just start with proper introductions. Y'all know me. That's Philippa Burgess, and we've been spending the morning together, or my morning, your afternoon, and many people's evenings, uh, and late nights. And I am a co-lead with Hadir of our uh, Microsoft Fabric Location Intelligence and Security User Group. And he was kind enough to uh, let me name the group since I was like, these are the things I have master's degrees in and I'm so excited about. And I think more people should be talking about. All right, Hadir, I turn it to you.
Hey everyone, how are you and how are you coping with this summer? Let us know in the comments.
Yes, you guys are having a heat wave. So my parents grew up in England and all of their memories are of it raining a lot. And I had done a summer at Cambridge when I was an undergrad. And I remember it was really hot and dry. They were having a drought, but it wasn't a heat wave. And now all of Europe is having a tremendous, really awful heat wave. Yeah.
It's because of
How's it?
humidity and the way houses are built here. They're built to keep the heat inside.
Which isn't good when you're having a heat wave. That's kind of the opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can speak to the fact that we live by the beach and where we are going to the library. Okay, using AC. Yes. Where we are, the houses aren't really built with heat or air conditioning because they're like, oh, it's always warm and you'll get a cool ocean breeze. And so when we have spikes in heat, it gets overly hot, and when it gets cold, it gets overly cold because we have no temperature moderation in our houses. So I understand that. I'm
Uh,
sorry that you're going through that. Is it? But it's kind of late right now. You're at 9 o'clock at night.
yeah, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting. There is no solution, but uh, fans are short in the superstores.
Sorry, what were you saying is short?
Fans.
Oh, fans are running short. So, all right. So if you want to start a good business, start selling.
Yeah, that's the time. That's the time.
All right. Well, let us.
In the session 5, we would be discussing about how to build career in Fabric and what next in the Fabric.
Yes. So
Uh,
I have kind of drafted up some slides. You can say anything you'd like to say at any point. We can also just sort of also use this as our guide, just some concepts. And so just to reintroduce ourselves, we are, and you actually have my co-lead here, we are the Fabric Location Intelligence and Security User Group. I'll drop some links in the chat. We'd love you to join us. Our group exists in the Fabric community and also on Meetup. So sort of messages kind of go back and forth on both of them. So I invite you to join us in one or both of those community homes or hubs. And here we are talking about building the modern Fabric career. I'll take you a little bit behind the scenes so Hadir and the rest of you all can all kind of have seen how I've put my decks together. Basically, work with the help of LLM to sort of manifest my dream into what it looks like on Luma. And then I give that to Claude and I say, what would you do if you made a deck? And then I give that deck to Notebook LLM and ask it to do more research. And then I ask it to make a deck. And then I kind of weave them together. And then we just kind of add our own thoughts. It does make mistakes. It is not perfect. It did not understand that 750 was a Databricks exam. It kept being like, Fabric Architect. I'm like, no, not true. So it does hallucinate a little bit. But for the most part, I think it gives us a pretty good spine and a pretty good roadmap of our discussion.
Humans also do mistakes. But the thing is that now I think Claude Code is much better than any kind of than any human. If Claude Code is not able to do anything, I don't think that any normal human can do that thing.
I don't know that I'm fully optimizing it. I have a project that I need to build where I think I need to get deep into Claude code to really help me build it because I actually started to build this project at my very beginning of working with Claude, not Claude, ChatGPT. I was one of the, I swear, I like the day that it dropped, I was as to public use, I was like user number 3. I was like, I'm all in on this. But it really was not a really good vibe coder in the beginning. And I have a project that remains unfinished that I need to go back. And now I kind of curious to see how much better it will be. Kind of, or we're sort of what, 3 years in?
They had to restrict Fable 5 for a reason.
Oh wait, with
USA
they
USA restricted Fable 5 for everyone, and
yep.
now just yesterday they announced it that they will be releasing, but to very few people. Like, just imagine the power of that model.
Oh yeah, I'm in an advisory board for the Cybersecurity Workforce Alliance, and so we have some really interesting people as part of that who work like at the SEC and other government agencies that also were chiming in when they very first saw Mythos, and they're like, "Yeah, this is really frightening from our point of view." So I was not surprised when like 2 days later they said, "No, no, no." So what are you saying that it's coming back? They're going to release it? What are they doing?
Yeah, for just for a few people who deal
Okay,
with the USA government, health departments, etc.
okay. All right, so now let's talk about building the modern fabric career, navigating data security and location in 2026. So we've got a shift in practitioner value. Do you want to? You can feel free to sort of use the slides as a jumping off point, or I can read them, or up to you.
You can go through them, and I will add my stuff.
Okay, so we're going to take a shift in the practitioner value. So let's say 2023 legacy data professional is your primary workload is fragmented across 3+ platforms. Your approach to security is bolted on after the fact. Your approach to AI is models are trained on ungoverned silos, and your approach to spatial is you just outsource that to the GIS team. Today, as a 2026 modern fabric professional, your primary workload is unified lakehouse, and you can add to that your real-time intelligence pipeline. Your approach to security is zero trust identity is built in. Your approach to AI is agent governance at the data layer. And your approach to spatial is now we've got native fabric geoanalytics, and I want to make sure everybody is completely fluent in knowing how to use all these tools. So our cross skills is where security, data, and location intersect. So you've got your Microsoft Fabric, your data, and your AI. Now we're really here to talk about your security and your governance, your Entra, your zero trust, your purview, and we can also now add location intelligence with Esri integration into Fabric. So the intersection of all three is where the most defensible and differentiated careers are built. So this is what we want to kind of look at as far as we think about careers. As it's great to be a data analyst, a business professional, and data scientist, and we love that. And also, GIS, they're all their own things. But we're going to see that like the boundaries between them are sort of getting more and more. There's more integration, and it used to be sort of the data analyst versus data science. It's like one used AI and one didn't. And now we all use AI. And it was also, this person over here handles security, and you don't need to really think about that because that's not part of the data scientist or data analyst or BI discipline. And now security is absolutely part of the discipline. And you will differentiate yourself by bringing that into your work. And same thing by adding location. You don't need to be a GIS professional anymore, but these tools are available to you. So to sort of in our view, this actually now just really makes you stand out, brings you not only your own better skill set, but your ability to now be a communicator and a connector among teams. Hadir, your thoughts?
With AI, almost everything is possible now. So if you are just Power BI professional, this skill is not enough. Because see, if you just stay on building the reports, someone else will replace with you. replace you, who know how to do front end, back end, and now the introduction of refin apps. They're just they're literally web apps with TypeScript at the back end and at the front end React and what's that? The language they are Vigolite with visuals. Now we can basically build anything with we want to include in the Power BI reports. Previously, with Power BI reports, we were restricted to the features which Microsoft provide us. But now, with Fabric app, it's just a web app. We can customize it how our company wants, how our client wants. For example, if client ask, can I have export custom export to Excel feature? We can just make a Fabric app. Can we have Esri and all that location analytics, some API from Google integrated into report? We can have that. I don't know if you have tried Fabric apps or not.
No, and I think there's well, let me say when you say Fabric apps, define because I know that there's third-party integrations, and then I think probably you're talking about something entirely
Yeah,
different.
they're new. Microsoft introduced
Okay.
it in Build 2026 last month. I think it has been a month now.
Yep,
Uh,
June 2nd and 3rd.
just start of this month. I've been trying Fabric apps since in last like 2 weeks. I've been just working mostly on the Fabric apps and try to build some kind of solutions for my company. Just experimenting with it. I built a custom CRM all inside Microsoft Fabric. It's just a Fabric app, like a normal app.
Mhm.
You can bring your own apps within Microsoft Fabric in place of the reports. Uh, Basically, how I think it is replacement of Power BI reports,
Mhm.
but with anything that you want to do.
I
You
wanna
can
check
just
that out.
do
That sounds
anything,
awesome.
anything with LLM
So wait, when you're
on the
talking about
front end.
Fabric apps, you're kinda saying you can build your own app inside of Fabric? Or are these app okay, this is not just because I was thinking, like I said, I know there's third-party integrations where other people have built things and you can sort of add them to extend your toolkit, but you're saying now, like, that Fabric apps
You
are
can
their
do
own
that
thing.
too, but with Fabric app, you can just build any kind of app. It's just an app. It's web page.
I love it. I love it. Alright. Cool. So what we're talking about here is just like this cross skill multiplier. So having depth in one, but also fluency in all three. So you're a data professional, but now you can speak security, you can think location, and you can apply these in your workflows and bring it to your teams, your departments, your company, your enterprise, your larger ecosystems. And this is where you're going to create that top 1% of market value. So you don't need to be a level 10 expert in any domain. It's just a composite skill profile that's virtually immune to AI replacement. So what I'd love to see everybody here do, wherever you are on the data fluency, start to add that first stack of security if you don't already have it. Start to add that first level of location if you don't have it already, and then just build on that. And that is going to make you completely. You can hang out with me. I'm just trying to build more people who speak all of these languages fluently, and that we can add value, and that we don't need to just live in our silos and not talk to each other. And then this is another way of kind of looking at that skill value. So you have this matrix of where the scarcity of talent is rare and common, and market demand and salary premiums. And so you can see that everything kind of clusters in that it's going to be more rare and more high value. And so that would be something that, so we're here to talk about. And
Yeah,
then
many
these
people
emerge. Yeah, go for it.
are comfortable with designing the reports, making semantic models, but they're not fluent with how to manage Azure portal, how to manage licenses, how to manage security stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, Now it is becoming much more and more relevant. But particularly with the Fabric app, how I see, you need to add authentication. that which users we want to give access to. While experimenting with Fabric apps, I've discovered that we can't give access to guest users for now, but with some tweaks with Azure Entra ID, it is possible. But for that, you need to do Azure certifications. You need to learn about the Azure.
Yes. And this is where I think that there's things that you will learn inside of Fabric, and then there's things you'll step outside of Fabric to learn, like doing your own sort of Azure certificates, doing your own security and purview and the SC stack of certificates. And so some of it crosses into it. I just remember, like, when I very first started taking these sort of certifications, the first two that I took that I sat within a week of each other were my Google Digital Cloud Leader and my ISC Squared Certified in Cybersecurity. And what did I find? I found that 30% of the security exam was cloud and 30% of the cloud exam was security. And we're going to see that more and more. All right, so we got our emerging roles. You got your Fabric's analytics engineer, your data engineer, your SQL AI developer, Microsoft security, GeoAI, location. So these are, sort of, and even I think for a lot of people, DP 600, 700 are different, but there's a lot of similarities to them. DP 800 is now AI enabled, and I encourage everybody to do the DP 800. It's brand new, and it's really where you can see that Microsoft is going, because in parallel, they've just released the SC 500, which is going to be your AI enabled security. So they want people to be able to demonstrate that they have AI skills within these domains. So AI with data, AI with security. And then, of course, Esri is its own universe, and with its integration into Fabric, there's some of the learning is on Microsoft Learn, and there's things you can do, but I do feel like some of the other learning for location intelligence exists. It isn't really fully developed yet. So Esri is kind of leading that right now, and I'm helping in terms of the interpretation and the amplification of that. But I can certainly point to some of the Esri learning tools, as well as you look, if you want, for anybody who wants to be just, and what I recommend everybody do, become more fluent in sort of the basics of geospatial and data mapping.
PL 300 is missing. For very beginners, I would say start with PL 300, which is basic Power BI exam.
Mm-hmm.
Learn that how to work with semantic models, reports, performance analyzer, and all that kind of stuff. Then jump to DB 600, then 700. 700 is more difficult. 800 if you are coming from SQL background. If you are previously a database developer, do DB 800, because now Microsoft has its own online cloud SQL database within Fabric. Then the security stuff, Esri.
Yeah, and I say, just full disclosure, I have sat 3 exams that I've not passed yet. Good and bad news is I kind of got vouchers that had to be taken that day. So I walked into all of this cold, no study, and I was close to passing, but did not pass. So I now realize if I would like to pass them, I should do a little bit of prep. What I did find, though, is that the DP 800, yes, it's databases, but it's also MCP. It's also AI governance. It's very AI heavy. It's not an exam that says, do you know how to do SQL? It is an exam that it's like, do you know how to apply AI to SQL? It is a very AI heavy exam. You will need to know SQL for sure. I'm not saying you don't. I think with all of these, there's plenty of drag and drop in the questions of writing your own queries. But I would say at least I took the beta exam. I kind of wanted to cry. It was so long. I was like, oh, okay. Yes, it was very cheap or free. I think it was like 11. No, I think it was cheap. I think it was like $18. But it was so long. It was so painful. I'm like, maybe not worth the money. I'll wait till it becomes a general availability. So I'm looking forward to taking SC 500, but I decided I was not going to do the beta. But yeah, so I think that's just my comment on it. I don't know. I'll take your thoughts as well.
I would say if you are doing any Microsoft exam, don't miss to go through Fabric modules. At least go through all the Fabric modules given below that exam study list. Uh, I've passed DP 600, 700, PL 300. For all of them, those modules helped me a lot. Uh, because that's a guide Microsoft officially provides you.
Yeah, and I know that I took all of mine absolutely cold, so I don't feel bad to say I failed after a lot of study. I failed after just basically being given a voucher saying, "Take this today," and I was like, "Okay." So I will definitely am excited to sort of get in and actually pass all of those. I will say I did just pass my JISP exam, and so JISP is the highest level of credentials for GIS, and it's a three-part credential, so it includes well, actually, four. It includes your academics, which I've got. It includes your portfolio, which I'm finishing. It includes your work experience, which I still have another year to before I will be qualified for the JISP credential. But I did pass my exam, so that was
Congrats.
what I studied for. I prepared
Congrats.
for. I passed.
Congrats.
All right, so here we go. Fabric stack. Okay, PL 300. Um, Databricks 750. Okay, so 300, 600, 700, 800, and DP 750 is if you work with Databricks. And then think about the security spine. You've got SC300, SC500, SC100. SC300 is identity, SC200 is SOC. There's also an SC400, but if I were recommending for anybody right now, I would definitely say um, put your SC500 on your runway, which is going to come into general availability either later this summer or early in the fall. Just so you're aware what a JISP is. JISP stands for GIS professional. Again, it's the highest credential someone can get in the GIS field. And then something I'm actually looking forward to taking is an AIGP, which is an AI governance exam, which is through the AIPP, which is the International Association of Privacy Professionals. And so, yeah, so what are the values? Skills, a command, a salary, premiums. Yeah, what are we getting paid for?
Mm,
I can
No,
run through this, but just also welcoming your thoughts as well.
yeah. Now people are more looking towards what I see, because with the introduction of Fabric apps, I think uh, in the next few months, people will start looking for people with uh, experiences developing React, working with TypeScript, uh, Vigalite. I don't know any of it, but they will start looking it, because a normal Power BI person, uh, he's not that much proficient with coding, with this front end, back end, all that kind of stuff. So how normal Power BI teams would do, they will just develop crappy with full of bugs app in Microsoft Fabric through vibe coding. Then what teams would start doing is that they will look for proper React developers, proper TypeScript developers to fix those bugs for them.
Yep, yep. And then
This is
real
where the
time.
future is moving towards.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I watch a lot of those videos. There's the person who comes in and it's like the vibe coding fixing agency. They hire professionals to come in and fix the vibe code.
Because anyone can develop app with vibe coding if he has Claude Pro plan, but who would be fixing it?
Yep,
The specialist.
yep.
And
And that's
if
what
specialist will make the same app, he will consume less tokens as compared to a novice.
so what I actually I don't know if this is a real tip or not. It's just one of the things I got in working with Claude is just in Claude General, not Claude Code, is that it uses a lot of tokens to process PDFs. And so what I do now is I
Don't do
take my
that.
PDF into my chat GPT and I say, please give this to me as a markup. And it does. And then I give that to Claude and I get a lot more use before it times out on me.
And you do this thing every time.
No, it depends on what my work is. So a lot of times,
So
like for example, if I'm asking it to generate a lot of slides for me, it's going to time out super fast.
yeah,
So if I'm
I would suggest to go to the Claude, do it one time, ask the Claude to make skills.md for it, install that skills, and then Claude, the next time Claude will do that, Claude won't have to architect the whole process again and again. It will
so
have
what am I doing? What am I
skill.md.
doing?
Uh, so, first time, put the PDF into Claude. Ask the Claude to convert it into a Markdown file.
Hmm.
Claude will do that. Claude will go through a process of converting PDF to Markdown. In that chat, Claude will know that process. Then ask Claude that, okay, you did it. Now make skills.md for me
Mm,
and
okay.
install it into your skills. The next time you will ask on converting PDF to Markdown, Claude will just use that skills.md. It's basically a Markdown file which will instruct that uh, previously when Claude did that, how Claude did that. Claude don't have to think about the stuff again and again, and it will save a lot of tokens.
I love that. So
Yeah, that's why uh, Fabric has released its own official Power BI authoring skills. I've not tried it, but it has released it. You will install those skills in Claude and ask it to build semantic models and report by itself.
okay, so I think that's like a huge takeaway. So we can now have Fabric as a skill in Claude.
Yeah,
All right, well there we go. This is like that was worth the price of admission. It was free, but hey, your time. We
yeah, but
appreciate your
say
time.
everyone can do this.
I
Where
love
your
that.
need would be created in the company, where if you know how to develop the Fabric apps, how to do back end, front end stuff, the difficult part which non-coders can't do. So learn the difficult part if you want to secure jobs in the future.
Well, here's the thing is, so having come out of a very expensive graduate school program, I also, in parallel, found lots of free things to build on top of it and in parallel with it. So, becoming a Microsoft Student Ambassador, anybody who's a student, that is the most amazing program, and you're being mentored directly by Microsoft. I was showing earlier, like, I speak on the Microsoft Reactor stage. Why? Because I came up through the Microsoft Student Ambassador program and have been mentored directly by Microsoft. And then once I raised my hand and said, hey, these are the things I'm interested in, and found additional ways to add to the conversation, I found a stage. So that was one is if you're a student or no student, Microsoft Student Ambassador Program is amazing. Number two on that, code in place. If you don't know how to code and you want to start coding or you just want to be better at Python, it's free. It's every year. It's offered by Stanford. It's got both sync and async and lots of exercises. And so you meet once a week for an hour for 6 weeks, and then you get a wonderful certification. I've now actually done that for 3 years in a row, and my Python is getting finally like better. And so yes, I do enjoy coding, and I think I can, and I am always grateful for the vibe coding aspect of it when I do need chunks of code written. But I will say, like, there's ways to learn coding because I do agree with you. See the same thing in GIS. There's a lot of people who came up in GIS who are like, I don't code. I never needed to code. I just click buttons for geoprocessing and do other things to clean data and organize and prepare data that don't code. And to me, I'm like, how do you even do GIS and not code? So to me, coding, no matter what your coding skills are, start to code.
Yeah, I agree with it. So we were discussing about Claude. Token is the currency in with these LLMs, Claude, anti-gravity, etc. In Fabric, C use is the currency, and
Mhm.
data pipelines, data flows, they consume a lot of CUs as compared to the notebooks where you need to write the code, where you have to understand some kind of PySpark, Python. So I agree with you. Start learning how Python works, the
So
basic
there's
of
actually,
Python, the basic
yeah,
of
there's
PySpark.
actually, oh, go ahead. Yeah, it's Python, PyScart. Yeah.
Yep.
I was
As
going to say,
you're going.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying that start learning how PySpark works, how Python works, and You would be saving a lot of CUs for your company.
Absolutely. And I'm just referring to the free resources. So obviously Microsoft Learn is a fantastic resource. But Code in Place is done every spring. They just wrapped it up. I definitely get on the list to, and so when they open up the applications for the next one, applications are pretty simple. I don't know how competitive it is. It's, but if you have a true willingness to learn, just put your application in. I highly recommend it. And then Google has a fantastic just video series out there. If you just look at Google Python presentation, it's actually a video presentation of what they teach internally, of how they teach Python internally, and then it comes with a bunch of exercise data sets. And I remember the very first time I did it, I was so new. I was like, what's an IDE? Like, wait, where do I write this code? And once I figured that out, and you can just use Colab or VS Code or whatever IDE you want to use to run the exercises, it's all there. It's a great free place to sort of start learning code. So what I'm trying to say is there is no lack of opportunities to learn code for free. And then if you have access to LinkedIn Learning or and then of course GitHub, it's there's no barrier to entry in my
Just go
opinion.
to ChatGPT and ask it to become your teacher for the next 30 days.
There you go. That's probably even better.
Yeah.
Or actually, what I like is kind of taking what I just said about different free resources. I love Notebook LM because it's the same thing. I'll be like, look it up. Tell me all the best ways for me to learn this.
What my little brother did, he's in high school. He uploaded his physics book there, asked the Notebook LLM to generate a short lecture for each of the chapter, 5 minutes lecture. It did generated better lectures than his teachers.
Well, I agree with that. Actually, as I was preparing for, actually, it was my JISP exam. When I was preparing for it, there were some topics that I needed to just get better understanding of, and I had it create a podcast. And it was so fun to listen to, and it totally drilled in the concepts that I needed to get, explain them perfectly. So Notebook LM, we like that one too. All right, so you've got your SC100, SC500, SC300 are just kind of the many SCs you can take. Recommend those as kind of starters. And then on the security spine, we talked about your PL300, DP600, DP700, DP800 are kind of on that. So, but you can add a security spine to your certification stack and just make that sort of something that makes you stand out and makes you more unique to bring onto a team because you are fluent in security, which is kind of essential and not, again, separate or bolted. So questions on, there's study groups for all of these things. There's contests for all of these things. You can continue learning along practitioners and build real projects kind of through this. So Fabric Data Days is like, we're just part of like this larger ecosystem, and same thing here, being here for Fabric Data Day, for Global Fabric Day, there's just so much going on. All right, so if we were to put together a 90-day plan, what would be in your 90-day plan? I can tell you what AI thinks should be in anybody's 90-day plan, and then we can build on this. Get into Microsoft Learn, and you can do all sorts of learning paths. Look to take your PL 300 or DP 600 or 700 or 800, but get your next certification. Join a community. Start to build depth. So again, get that next. Sorry. It's track 1 and just start the learning paths on it. Start 2 is take the exam. Start to add security, and start building a project portfolio, and then differentiating yourself. Kind of adding. You can add Fabric, or with either. Sorry, you can have Fabric with an Esri project or a Sentinel project. I recommend speaking. It thinks you should pursue a JISP. I don't agree with that. It took me a master's and some tears to get that. Don't do that. But no, pursue geoanalytics and start to make data maps. You can make data maps in Colabs. I have plenty of sample notebooks. You can just run code, and you can have your AI generate some basic data sets of things you're interested in visualizing. And it's not hard to start sort of putting together and starting to see maps. And then, start thinking about security in all of the projects that you're already working with. Hadi, I turn it to you.
For differentiating from other Fabric developers, I would say just build your skills in some kind of industry domain, manufacturing, finance, geospatial, security. Because see, a company can find a fabric developer from their town, if not in town, their city, not in city, their district. But to find a person who is proficient with both fabric and has knowledge of that particular industry domain, the main product of that company, uh, it's hard to find. And there you will create your own need for that company. uh,
I completely agree with that, and I want to say even like for example, geospatial, and I'll be up at the Esri user conference has domain specificity within geospatial. So geospatial is its own thing, but then it applies to every industry. So are we applying it to environmental? Are we applying it to manufacturing? Are we applying it to maritime? Are we applying it to national security? So like I personally lean into national security. That's kind of my domain. That's how why I ended up finding myself in geospatial and cybersecurity because you really, to me, I was like, I can't even be in national security if I'm not fluent in security.
yeah, it's a very overlooked niche. There is a huge demand and very less talent. The people who are proficient with both location side and the fabric side,
Hmm. But I'm
there's
even agreeing
shortage.
with you saying that location is not. I guess where I'm going with to expand on what you were just saying is that location can even have more subdomains. Like you can be an expert at location in maritime, or location in manufacturing, or location in logistics, or location in environmental. Like even that kind of niches out into all of its different subject. So being a subject matter expert is what I'm hearing you say. Beyond sort of I'm an
Yeah,
expert in
yeah.
fabric or an expert in location, we're also saying you can be an expert in manufacturing or manufacturing in a specific niche or logistics or
Pick your
environment
specific
or
niche.
yes or disaster response or event security.
Yeah, but before that, you have to go through track one, track two, uh, getting started, and building your expertise with fabric. Then move towards differentiation.
Yep. So let's see. You are the multiplier. Okay, so we are part of Fabric Data Days, and Fabric Data Days has so much going on, and we are just like one of 100 events. We're so excited to have you join us today for this event. This is a qualifying event because I do ask you if you have uh, attended events, and part of the reason is because when you get your voucher and you register for those events, they're not gated, so they really want you to take the three that you're qualified to take, and they want you to sort of stay on the path and not have fraud and not sell your voucher or give away your voucher, but the person who requests the voucher uses the voucher for the specific ones that they're asking you to take, which is part of the reason they want you to be excited about it, and that's why they want you to have these qualifying events. Yeah, so we are the multiplier, and we're here to sort of just like help everybody kind of up level. And I do love that idea of like, not idea, that reality of the domain specificity. And so even like whether it's applied through Fabric or it's applied through Esri, um, being at these conferences, you'll see that there's user group. Then and that's where user groups right now are done by location, meaning it's a city or a country or something that kind of has the user group. But what we're seeing now and what our user group is doing is now is trying to say, okay, let's bring in some specialties and kind of focus on these niches. But when I'll be at Esri, and I think you can see the same thing at a fabric conference, is you get your groups of your special interest groups, the SIGs, that come together because they specifically have that domain expertise and they want to network with each other, whether they're in public utilities or they're in transportation or they're wherever, or they're in the environment, or they're in natural disasters, or they're in national security. You just get that people definitely like group by how they're applying that discipline. All right, what are some of your thoughts and what are some of your visions for our user group?
For sure, Europe. Add AI into it. Yeah, fabric, security, analytics, location, and AI. AI is coming into everywhere. Honestly,
It's what?
AI is coming into everything, everywhere.
Absolutely.
Uh, yep, I would say start making Fabric apps, your Esri apps. I don't know if you have tried or not, but if you got Fabric capacity or not, but do you got Fabric
Do I have a
capacity?
fabric bestie?
Fabric capacity? Do you have? Uh, I'm asking you if you have Fabric capacity.
What do you
Fabric,
mean by fabric bestie?
Fabric, like uh, Fabric capacity online where you can use where you can build the fabric items, fabric workspace, etc. I would say if you got a fabric capacity, if you purchase fabric capacity or have a trial fabric capacity, uh, experiment with fabric apps, uh, bring something from Esri, something from location stuff into
Okay.
fabric, make a demo, and we can show the world that how we can bring location apps inside fabrics.
Well, I think Esri is doing a lot of it. It's already there, so it's a question about like what can I build that's different.
We can integrate S3.
Okay, I'll play. I love to build
We
things.
can integrate and show the possibilities.
I love it. I'll play. Okay, so I've not heard of Fabric Bestie before.
So
I will check it
fabric,
out.
yeah, Google it. Fabric Best is
Okay.
just that it's a paid plan which enables you to work with on fabric.
See, I think of Fabric Bestie and I think of you as my
I have,
co-lead of our user group.
Yeah,
That's my
I'm using
Fabric.
it.
But no, okay, so it's a paid
I'm
plan. I
I'm
will
just
check it
asking
out.
that if you are, yeah, I'm just asking that if you have fabric capacity and you can experiment with fabric apps.
We'll do it. All right, and I extend the challenge to our audience. Come play. Let's see what we can build with Fabric apps. I love that. Well, we appreciate everybody being here. So thank you. We invite you to subscribe, follow, connect with us, join our user group, and of course, the message that we are sort of being invited to share is sign up, request your certifications. These are free exam vouchers. Probably don't do what I did and get the voucher without sort of any preparation. So now I'm much more prepared and I'm excited to pass my exams. Feel free to say that you learned about it through a Global Fabric Day, that you learned about it through our event. They're sent in 1 to 2 weeks. And then you can get your PL 300 or DP 900, which are great places to start, for 50% off. And that voucher will expire September 30th. And these are limited to first come, first serve. So please refrain from asking for one if you're not going to use it. But if you are going to use it, they will welcome you to request it. And of course, everything to do with Fabric Data Days. It's 60 days of data and AI, and we've got hundreds of community events, this just being one of them. And they have the vouchers, the study groups, contests, and other hands-on opportunities. I'm going to take you up on this Fabric apps and Fabric Bestie. I'm going to check it out because I didn't know anything about that. You are welcome to drop it in the chat if you have it, if you have a link for it. And this is our whole series of events. We've got, we just did our location intelligence last week. We're here today for Global Fabric Day. We'll continue on Tuesday with Get to Know Esri. We'll take a closer look at the Living Atlas and the Esri tools. I'll give a thought to how I can use sort of what's already built in, which in addition to what I could build with an app. Excited to learn that. We're going to look at data and AI, security and governance. We'll then continue on with Fabric IQ. Our next Saturday event is going to be Win in the Seams, stitching together data and security with Microsoft Fabric. We'll look at KQL and data logs and telemetry. And then we've actually pushed the date on this one to August 4th because I actually was invited back to the Reactor stage. So I'll actually be presenting on the 28th on Microsoft Reactor as part of Data Days. And then on August 4th, we'll do KQL for data and security professionals. And of course, Hadir, anything else and any other speakers or topics that you want to add to our schedule as we go forward, you are always welcome to do that. And we always love hearing from our audience as well. So that is, so yeah, Hadir, other things that you want to kind of add as we wrap this up? wrap out our day.
So what is TP 900 exam? It's a new
Uh,
exam.
so the 900s are always the entry level basics. So it always gonna goes from 900 being the easiest, and so I think for somebody, probably somebody like myself, who at that moment that someone hands you a voucher and says, "Here, go take an exam," I would have probably been better off doing a 900 and passing than jumping into the 600 and 700, which definitely have a lot more. Either you need to prep for this, or you use this every day because you're already a data professional.
All right. Yeah, the one thing that I want to add for audiences is that uh, in Fabric, for what's in the future, I would advise you to start working with Fabric apps, because since its release, since last 2 to 3 weeks on LinkedIn, if you open your LinkedIn, like everyone is talking about Fabric apps. I've built this thing with Fabric apps. I've integrated game into Microsoft Fabric, this thing and that thing. They're bringing in 3D models in Fabric, like endless possibilities. So just start getting your hand dirty and experiment with Fabric apps from now.
I will do so. We recommend it to everybody, and I'll include it in our post event resources. That's exciting. Actually, maybe actually could we potentially consider? I'm not that motivated. I could be convinced, but I feel like we have a really full schedule for our Fabric Data Days. So maybe we schedule it kind of after. Maybe it's part of our late summer kickoff into fall programming. Maybe
Maybe
it's sooner.
later.
I don't know,
Maybe
but
later
maybe we
if
could do a dedicated Fabric app session.
maybe later. Maybe later. And one more thing, currently with Refin is code based. That
Hmm.
how Fabric, Refin SDK is used to build the Fabric apps, but within few months, Microsoft will be integrating Replete into it. Uh, I built few apps with Replete. It's just prompt. Like
Mm-hmm.
with Refin, you need to know some code, but with Replete, I worked with it. You don't even need to know about the code. Just give the prompt. Replete will build full app, full website, like any kind of website, any custom website for you, and you will have that item inside your Fabric.
So we should wait until Replit is integrated into
No, no,
Fabric,
no,
and then
no,
we
no,
can
no,
do a.
no, no, no. Just start building Fabric apps for now, and start learning how Fabric app works, how TypeScript, how the folder structure of Fabric apps works. Uh, because if you will make a messy app, it's hard to debug.
Mm.
Understand about the folder structure of that Refin app, and just start experiment, because see how AI models are improving. Uh, the new model improves on the mistake of the previous model. This is how they are improving. So I would suggest start experiment. You will do mistakes, but next time you won't do mistakes. You will learn from those mistakes.
Excellent. Well, two things. One, I will build, and two, from a programming point of view, when do we want to do our apps? That's what I'm actually asking: is when would we want to do that? Is that sort of fall programming? And by then, the Replit will be sort of integrated into it.
I would say wait. Let's say have some more good examples on Fabric apps. It's a new
Okay.
feature, and it's just available in USA and some other parts. It is not even GA. Let's wait. But in meantime, I would suggest my audience and you also, uh, after this session, go and look the possibilities with Fabric apps, and if you have access to paid Fabric capacity plan, start building Fabric app. Just
I'm
experiment
on
with
it.
it.
I'll do it. I have a. I mean, I
Oh,
have my own paid Fabric account, and I have my paid
okay,
capacity.
okay.
So
Then you have a capacity. Okay, yeah. And Fabric apps, I would suggest not to use VS Code, GitHub Copilot. I tried with it. It's not that much efficient. Anti-gravity did good job, but Claude consumes a lot of tokens, but it is even more better.
okay. So anti gravity. I know. So I'm
Google
part of
Gemini
the.
Pro.
Yeah, I'm part of the Women Tech Maker Ambassadors program. So our sort of legacy was Google, because it was a Google program. And so I was just actually on a call yesterday, and everybody was just shouting out about how much they love anti-gravity.
You need to.
Anti-gravity has a lot of fans among the women tech
Yeah,
makers.
yeah, yeah. I'm mainly using anti-gravity. I've stopped using VS Code, GitHub Copilot Studio. I have pro account of both, but uh, for most of the time I use anti-gravity.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. I have not adopted to that yet, but I like you're the second day that I'm hearing that that's the thing. All right, we are at time, everybody. I'm just come and check the chat real quick. Okay, I'm seeing people using Microsoft Fabric. He said Fabric capacity. Okay, CO what it means. I'm not sure what that question is. CO what that means. But yes. All right. We are good. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you for hanging out, making the chat lively, and being part of our global Fabric Day. We've had a full day, a full event. Hadir, thank you so much for joining me for this session, and we're seeing kind of where we can all kind of get that advantage. If you have access to Fabric apps, let's start building. If you don't, you can still check out Claude Code and Anti-Gravity. It does just kind of accelerate everything that you're already doing. If you don't have your Fabric account, go ahead and set up your 60-day free trial. You may or may not want to add capacity to that. I see F64. You do not need premium. If you are just building on your own as a one person, be aware that's not free. I have a bill of a couple $100 a month. And I'm at the lowest capacity. So don't add capacity until you have some budget for it. But you can build the cool things. And even when you're, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to add that Refin is just app. It's app. You can ask the agent to build a local link for you, and you don't need Fabric capacity for that. Go to the Microsoft Refin guide on MS Learn and pass in those commands to Anti-Gravity or VS Code wherever you are working, and ask it to build a Refin app, but also instruct it to create local host so that you can test and see the working of that app all locally inside your PC.
Fantastic. All right, we got stuff to build. We got stuff to develop. We got careers to build. We got exams to take, but study for them first. So, but definitely request your vouchers, and yeah, I'm excited for what's next. So hopefully I'll see many of you guys on Tuesday. If you're interested in the Esri, we'll go do a deeper dive into that, and then come back for more data security, Fabric IQ. Actually, it was a military professional who was giving a talk at our I'm part of the Intelligence National Security Alliance AI subcommittee, and that was like one of his phrases. He's like, "You win in the scenes," and that like stuck with me. I was like, "Yeah, you do." And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a whole event around that. So it tied to Fabric and how we stitch things together. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.